Welcome back to the Law Show. I'm attorney Brian Dailey, broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios in the Windy City, Chicago, on 890 AM WLS. If you want to tune in and watch us answering legal questions right now, and you're near a computer or you're going to be near a computer, go to thelawshow.com and press on the Watch Live link, and you'll see yours truly answering legal questions from high atop the Law Show studios in the Windy City, Chicago, on 890 AM WLS. We're dispensing great legal advice. A couple of things I want to remind everybody. When you call and ask your question, you're not going to just help yourself. You're going to help everybody else who's listening in the WLS listening area, which is humongous. It's huge. It goes into other states. And people listening will hear what you're asking, and they'll hear the answer that I give, and that will jog their memory and that give them information. It's like you're participating in an hour-long public service announcement. So feel free to call us at 855-529-7469. The other advice that I always give people is, if you think you have some sort of legal remedy coming your way, if you have been aggrieved and you want to pursue it, or if you don't know if you want to pursue it, take the time to find out what your obligations are. How much time do you have to bring the case? Is it a case? What is it going to cost you? Is it the kind of a case that you can handle on an hourly fee basis, or is it the kind of a case that you can handle on a contingent fee basis? What's the statute of limitations? You have to answer all these questions in order to make an intelligent decision as to whether or not you want to pursue litigation. And it's not always the right answer to pursue litigation. Sometimes you may not want to do that. Sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes the money value is not worth the time and emotional and money investment that you'd have to make in order to pursue whatever right it is you think you're entitled to. On the other hand, there may be something that is not worth very much money, but really is very important. Maybe you have to right a wrong that's been done so that that wrong doesn't get done again. My point to you is, sit down with a lawyer who gives you a free initial consultation, like the Dailey Law Firm does. Talk to us or the lawyer that you meet with, and Illinois has tremendous bar. We have a great bar in Illinois. There's great lawyers. There's a ton of law schools pumping out law students, graduates every year. And I'm telling you, Illinois is a great place to practice law because there's so many great lawyers and great judges out there. Sit down with somebody that's not going to charge you for the initial consultation. Find out what your rights are so that you can make an intelligent decision as to whether or not you want to pursue something. We're answering your questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-529-7469, 855-LAW-SHOW. You can also email your questions to questions@thelawshow.com, and I'm here answering those questions right here, right now. And we're going to go to the phones. We're going to talk to James. James, welcome to the Law Show.
Hi. Good to talk with you.
Well, it's good to talk to you. How can I help you?
Me on here.
How can I help you?
Here's my question. I don't know if it's time lapsed, as far as how soon you can go after someone or bring a trial back to case. But I had a lawsuit, a labor dispute, and the jury, which is supposed to be a jury of your peers, average everyday folks, they gave me my case, and they didn't know how to put it down properly, I guess, when they were debating. But they gave me all of my legal fees.
Good.
And they signed it by all 12 jurors.
Yes.
For the entire lawsuit. But the judge would not allow it, and he only awarded me the week of the case itself. And I never could understand that.
Well,
and
what kind of a case was it?
It was a labor dispute about commissions, and they said that I was selling product to some other company while I was working for them, but actually I was a 1099 self-employed individual.
Well, when did this jury verdict come down?
It came down about, it must have been 2000 and maybe 2005.
And so you want to know why the judge reduced it to take away your attorney's fees?
Yeah, because my lawyer told me, he gave me some legal reason for it, which made no sense to me. But if
Oftentimes the
they
law
say
doesn't make any sense.
these folks
Oftentimes the law doesn't make
are
any
a
sense.
jury of your peers. They're not lawyers. And while we were waiting for the jury to come out, my lawyer called me and said, this may be a good thing. And because the jury called the judge and said, we're having a problem here, and we need some help with this.
Okay.
And he told them, I can't go in there and help. So they did whatever. They wrote it in. They wrote in giving me all my legal fees, giving me the case.
Well, it sounds like,
and
James,
the judge would not allow it.
James, it sounds like the jury actually did not do the right thing. It sounds like what they did was they did their own little bit of justice. They were aggrieved. They were upset by what you had to go through in your labor dispute. They were mad at the defendant, and they wanted to send a message. And that probably is the way that they did that. I'm not sure why the judge took away your attorney's fees, but I'm sure that if I had a conversation with your lawyer, there's a good reason for it. And by good reason, I don't mean one that we like. I mean one that is based on the law. And so the judge is always going to follow the law, or almost always follow the law. When they don't, that's why we have courts of appeals. So I'd have to have a little bit more information to find out exactly why you didn't get your attorney's fees. But it sounds like it's something that shouldn't have been written into the verdict in any event. It's an age-old question. We have a right to have a trial by jury of our peers, but legislatures and governments are constantly infringing on that, in particular in ways where they get the legislature to pass what's called tort damage caps, pain and suffering caps. They've tried that in medical malpractice in Illinois 3 times now, and our great Supreme Court out here in Illinois has thrown it back 3 times. And that's really what they should do. There is no infringement allowed, in my opinion, on a jury's ability to award damages, and it should never be infringed on by any legislature that is being paid off by an insurance company, a big business, a multinational business, or some big hospital or something like that. But it often happens, and I know there are other states where they've tried that. Up in Michigan, the Supreme Court is regarded as being very pro-business and very pro-insurance company. And they've upheld the damage caps. In Ohio, they've upheld the damage caps. In Georgia, they threw out the damage caps. There's a number of states where they've thrown out damage caps. But the jury is the way to go. It's written into our Constitution. And if any judge ever tells you that they're a rule of law judge and they support damage caps, don't believe it. They're not telling you the truth. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-529-7469. We're going to talk to Joe. Joe, you're on the Law Show.
Yes, hello. I have a question for you about employment arbitration disputes.
Okay.
If you are in an arbitration dispute and you also filed with the EEOC,
yes,
do you have any recourse when you get a right to sue letter? Where does it go? Does it go back to arbitration?
It depends upon your contract. It can go back to arbitration. Oftentimes, the federal court does not accept limitations on the EEOC and doesn't make you follow what the contract says. For an example, in some states, employers reduce the amount of time that a person has to pursue an employment claim from 180 days, which is what you've got under the EEOC, to less, right?
Yeah.
And the federal courts don't accept that, so they don't follow that. I'd have to take a look a little bit more. But you've got your right to sue letter. Do you have a lawyer?
Yes.
And have you asked your lawyer about this?
Well, it hasn't come up, he said.
What's that now?
He doesn't know where it's come up before. But the right to sue letter could be meaningless if the EEOC doesn't take it up, and they have a backlog of 50,000 cases. They got 1% chance that they'll pursue anything. They're not bound by the arbitration, but as a practical matter, will they do anything? Waffle House says they're not bound by arbitration contracts.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't answer it unless I take a look at a little bit of research. I'd be happy to do that. But your lawyer should have an answer for you. If he doesn't have an answer for you, you need to get a new lawyer. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-529-7469. Remember, we have offices in Chicago and in Detroit. Our office in Chicago is at 30 North LaSalle, Suite 3200. Brian Russell and I are out there taking care of business and helping people with their legal issues. And we want to invite you to come in and see us if you have a legal claim. Call us first at 855-529-7469. That number works 24 hours a day. I answer it. It's on the weekend. It goes to my cell phone, and I'll get back with you right away. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions. That's 855-529-7469. Now, Dave on the show. Dave, you're on the Law Show.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good. What's going on? What can I do for you?
Hey, well, I'm a first-time listener, and I really appreciate the possibility of getting some advice from you. So here's my situation.
Okay.
I have a couple of investment properties, rental houses that are in foreclosure. That process is pretty far down the road. Looking for, possibility of refinancing my own home, but I've been told you can't do that with foreclosures and stuff. So we've actually considered bankruptcy, filing for bankruptcy, kind of eliminate those debts.
Yep.
About 4 months ago, my mom died, and I'm getting about $150,000 in inheritance money. So the question is, I don't really know how bankruptcy works. If I were to file bankruptcy, does that eliminate the debt with those two institutions, or
What's the
will
amount
they
of debt?
actually require me to pay some out of this new inheritance that
What's
I'm
the
getting?
total amount of debt you got?
Or is that two separate things?
What is the total amount of debt you got?
It's probably going to be about $180,000 with these two houses.
You're in kind of a tight spot, because I think that the bankruptcy court can attach your inheritance. I'm going to check this out right now. Do you own those homes in your own name, or are they in an LLC?
I own a home. I'm paying on a home, my own home, yes, in my name.
Okay, but you own two investment properties.
That's correct.
All right. Are they in your name, or are they?
Yes, they're in my name.
Okay. So you got to be really careful. Brian Russell is very good at bankruptcy. You want to be careful so that you don't lose your inheritance. When are you going to get this inheritance?
Some of it's already showed up, and the other is kind of waiting on me to paperwork.
Yeah, I think you'd probably be better off trying to pursue some kind of a short sale, because I think that bankruptcy is going to. Let me see here. See what it says. Yeah. If you get your inheritance after the bankruptcy is final, they can't take it. They can actually look a little bit forward, but once it's final, then they can't take it. But you're right in that sort of sweet spot where you got to be really careful. I wouldn't lightly make a decision to file bankruptcy if you've got this inheritance coming in. You need to sit down with a bankruptcy lawyer like Brian Russell and go through all this and figure out what is the best way for you to go. Okay.
Okay.
We do short sales.
Just let the run its course, and then we just have to live with that.
I'm not sure. You're not giving me enough information. I don't really have enough time to sit down with you right now here on the show to figure out everything. But I know that the goal is to get you out of the debt so that you can keep your inheritance and keep your stuff, okay? We want to get rid of those homes, and it may be a better way to go through a short sale and do something like that where you're not going to be jeopardizing your inheritance, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Call us at 855-529-7469. Schedule an appointment to come in to see Brian Russell. We'll sit down and talk with you all about those issues. You know, it's really important that you sit down with a lawyer in order to figure out what decisions you can make and what decisions you have to make before you pursue litigation. I have a client who was the victim of malicious destruction of property damage. He thought was maybe like $5,000 or $6,000, but when he got a professional involved, it turns out to be 6 figures in damage, and he was going to accept $5,000. Well, That doesn't replace his property. It doesn't fix his pool. It doesn't fix his pool house. It doesn't fix his cars. It's a real problem. So sit down with a lawyer that gives you a free initial consultation. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. It's The Law Show. Brian Dailey, 855-529-7469.